Hello.
Hi,
Hi, how are you doing today? What's up?
I'm good. How are you?
Still alive, thanks for asking. This is teacher Meysam, and I'm here to help you uh, in terms of learning process as well as, generally people are quarreling and basically they are hesitant to talk, although their vocabulary range is really high, I mean wide. Uh, so maybe I can help by sharing some experiences with you guys. May I ask what's your name and how can I say where are you from and what's your English level?
So, my name is Usman. I am from Pakistan. And what do you mean by English level?
I mean, yeah, I created this for. I mean, I wanted people to gather here in this group who are generally from intermediate and above. That's why I'm asking. So most probably your level is intermediate.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, like B1 level, may I say?
Yes.
Hello.
I see. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
You're still alive. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Yeah, I am doing good.
That's
Thanks for asking.
That's amazing. And where are you from?
I am from India.
India. Good, great. So, guys, I think you're just trying to improve your speaking or improve your English. Is that correct?
Yeah, I am trying to improve my English.
Uh huh.
It's in
For
English.
for what? For what reason?
I am going to give interviews in English
Uh huh.
after 4 months.
Job interviews? You mean?
Yeah, job interviews.
I get it. I get it. So, is there anyone here who is trying to improve himself or maybe herself for IELTS examination or something like that? I mean, academic examinations, proficiency level. No.
Well, I'm not
Really, I am
preparing for IELTS
there is no.
examination, but I'm looking forward to improve my conversation
Mm-hmm.
to learn about this particular language a lot. Yeah,
I got it. And was that Mr. Osman who was talking, or new person?
yeah, it's me. My name is Harish. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I get it. I get it. Great. So, do you have any specific question or questions related to English or learning process or the challenges that you might have as a kind of language user? I don't want to call you like a student. Everybody who is using a language should be called as a language user, in my opinion. That's why I'm trying to call you a language user. So, guys, do you have any specific problem, specific challenge uh, in your learning journey or in your speaking? Maybe I can help you.
Yes, actually, the main problem is like I understand the English, but when I try to speak, then words didn't properly, frame the
Mhm.
way I cannot frame the sentence properly.
I see. Okay, this is a kind of very normal one. First thing first, if we cannot understand others, generally speaking, it is related to vocabulary. I mean, words. Okay, so first thing first, you have to improve your vocabulary. Understand? Second, you need to just improve your listening. Maybe the person who is talking to you, or maybe you're talking about movies, interviews, let's say social media, influencers, YouTube, whatnot. Maybe you cannot understand them because they try to speak very fast. Why? Because maybe English is their mother language, right? So what happens? First thing first, I repeat myself. Vocabulary, improve your vocabulary. Second, improve your listening. Third, improve your self confidence. Generally, people lack self confidence, not just in English, but generally maybe in their mother language as well. So, speaking ability, in my opinion, could be related to our character as well. This is not me who is talking. This is my experience. Based on experience, I'm talking. Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Hello.
And what about the grammar part? Like, is it important to learn the concept of grammar?
Of course.
Hello, guys. Hello.
Hello,
Yes.
hello, man. How are you doing today? You know, the grammar itself, of course, it is important, but it depends on how you're trying to use it. Let me give you a very simple example. If you want, guys, if you want to be a tourist, kind of basic communicator, in my case, you don't need to focus on grammar a lot. Why? Because you try to use language. And what do I mean by that? You don't just need to articulate. Articulate means to produce. Yeah, there's a kind of noisy background. Maybe you could basically mute your microphone while I'm talking, then maybe you can talk, okay? Uh, so what happens? We don't
Music में
basic.
बहुत हिंदी खा लिया
Yeah,
मैं सोच रहा है खीर भी थी
there's a kind of
कम लिया था क्या चावल लिया
noisy
Mic off करो
background.
भाई. Kick mic.
Yeah,
Just
thank you.
kick the guy. Kick the
Thank
guy.
you. Yeah. I would say we don't generally use lots of grammar while we are talking. Grammar comes. Grammar comes later. But focus on your fluency, guys. How could you focus on that? I always say improve your vocabulary and listening, specifically if you want to improve your speaking ability. But if you are, let's say, in the process of thesis writing, in the process of article writing, or if you want to join, participate, let's say, a kind of academic level English test, uh, such as IELTS or TOEFL, definitely you need to improve your grammar. It depends on how you are going to use language. Understand? But of course, we cannot easily eliminate grammar forever. It is impossible. Without grammar. Our, let's say, articulation of language, let's say English, is not going to be standard. There's a term they call it like broken English. Our English would be like broken English, which means native speakers can understand us, but they would say this English is, there's something is missing, or there's something wrong with it because it is broken. Then what happens? As I said earlier, by focusing on listening, specifically native speakers, you say, oh my God, yeah, it has been like 5 years that I have been making lots of mistakes. I was unaware of that. I was unaware of those mistakes, but now I can learn. I can understand that, oh my goodness. The native speaker of that specific language, speaking of, English, is, of course, correct. So you are correcting yourself automatically. But of course, it needs lots of effort. It takes time. Number one problem of humanity, not just students or language learners, humanity in this day and age is people are impatient, period. So I think we have to improve this. We have to just feel, how can I say? I cannot put it into words. We have to learn how to be patient enough in our life, not just in English, I would say. I hope my answer could just, uh, how can I say, satisfy your need, but I don't know. Maybe you can ask another question or just go further.
Teacher, I respect your knowledge and the learning you are saying to us is incredible. I just want to ask, like, if you can give us some topic and we can
Hmm.
judge each other speaking skills, and you can rectify or you can improve how we
Hmm.
can improve. So that is more important.
I get it.
Like, if you can give us topic and we will speak for a minute, and then you can rectify what
Hmm.
the areas of improvement are there,
I
so
see.
that we can all understand better.
I got you. You know, of course, this is a good idea to start a topic and speak about it. But here, my goal is to be able to give some tips and tricks to people. Maybe those tips and tricks could help them. I mean, could help you actually. Other than that, we can do lots of exercises or activities, but it depends on the environment and the how can I say, the vibe of the, let's say, group on freefortalk.com. Maybe there could be lots of activities. You know, for example, we could uh, choose a um, you name it, a paragraph or a kind of passage from a reading, and then everybody could read, let's say, at minimum one sentence, or let's say a paragraph. So as a teacher, I could maybe how can I say, correct your pronunciations and give you some feedback on your speaking ability, your reading ability, and after that we can just uh, talk about that specific topic. Or uh, as you said, you could create a kind of topic, like very general one, like what are guys, what are your new year resolution? Do you know the word resolution here? New year resolution,
Yeah, yeah, we know.
what
It
does it mean?
plans. It means planning.
Fantastic, it means
Planning.
plans. Yeah. Okay, could you please start it over? Start, I mean.
Yeah, I think Nosar wants to start. Start with that guy.
No problem, just go ahead. Maybe Nasser tries to
Nosar,
talk.
go ahead. Nosar, homeboy. Nosar, are you there?
Do you have any
So,
specific?
like, you will be giving us any topic, and we should start speaking on that, or we should pick our own topic.
He said. He said already. He said New
Yeah.
Year resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
new
thought
resolution is the
Nosar would
topic.
pick up.
Yeah. What is
Yeah,
or
this
what
is the topic.
are your New Year's resolutions? Let's say.
Okay, so, like, if I start from the new resolution, then I
Mm-hmm.
might get job at the new at the
Mm-hmm.
first week of January,
Okay.
and I will follow the routine, and I will start making a hobby of get waking up early
Mm-hmm.
and start exercising and doing meditation.
Wait.
That is
Getting
my
up
new
early.
resolution goal. I will
Getting. Can I say just quick?
uh, I will improve my health. I will
Correct.
be more conscious on my health, and I will start avoiding junk food that I eat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I will also make a hobby of studying daily a new
Fantastic.
chapter or
Great.
reading a novel or anything.
Great.
That will be my new resolution.
Yeah. Lots of resolutions. Do you think that you could, how can I say, completely accomplish or fulfill all of these resolutions in the new year? Is it possible? Do you think?
So I'm making a lot of resolutions
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I know that some of might have skipped, but
Hmm.
I will, try to follow at least one or two resolution.
I understand. That is amazing.
I know
Yeah.
that.
I mean, the point here is to be able to make sentences, I mean, longer sentences, new sentences, using our vocabulary knowledge. And the other thing is not really important. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Next, sorry, I forgot your name. I think you didn't talk about it.
Yeah, my name is Himanshu Joshi from India.
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the person whose profile is like Joker.
Yeah, my
Okay.
name is 123.
Your name is
The
what?
teacher,
Sorry.
you have to 123.
Okay.
See, the last guy said, I want hobby to wake up early, but waking up early is not a hobby; it's a habit. So
Hmm.
you should have corrected guy
Hmm.
instantly.
Yeah. And
And maybe you could ask him a few questions like, in what time he wants to get up early or something.
okay. Yeah. At what time do you usually get up, and what is your plan to just reset it and replan it?
Okay, you are asking me?
Yeah.
Okay, I usually wake up at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, but I will stick to 5 or 4:30 a.m.
4:30 a.m.
and I will go to early. Yeah, 4:30 a.m. I will. This is my
That's
resolution that I will wake up early,
very good.
and,
That's crazy.
That's
Do you
crazy.
and I will
realize
go
that
to
you have
sleep
to,
early also.
That is
if you
crazy,
want to
Yeah,
but
wake
because
up,
when we wake up early so that we can plan out our whole day, and the vibe and the energy is different when we wake up early,
hmm,
and we can do exercises and everything. We can plan our whole day so that we can get a lot of time.
I
So
understand.
that's the reason being.
Mm.
wait, can you say to me, if you want to get up at 4:30, in order
Yes.
to get 8 hours of sleep, when do you need to go to sleep? Like, in what time?
No, I will
Mm.
try to sleep or go to bed at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Like
No, no,
it's the
it
deadline.
doesn't work like
Yeah,
that.
10
It
o'clock will
doesn't
be
work.
the last. I will go to sleep.
Hmm. That's nice. Okay. We have two more friends here,
No,
people
no,
here.
it's not, bro. It's not nice. It's not nice. Wait a second, I will give
No, it
answer.
is. Yeah. I mean, we can say it is not nice for me, but it is nice for him, right?
Yeah, every individual have different preferences and
Hmm.
different choices. So
Yeah.
according to me, it's good for me,
Of course, this is
but
your
not
life.
according to
No,
you.
This is your
Yeah,
life
it's
and your
impossible.
decision,
yeah,
your
teacher,
challenge.
right.
Yeah. Uh, okay. Maybe we can move on to next person. There's a kind of profile like moving cat. Hello, can you hear me?
I think the name is Patch.
Yeah, because I'm joining from via my mobile, I mean telephone. I cannot see any name.
Yeah, when I click that profile, so the name shown
Hello.
is
Uh-huh.
Patch.
I
Can you hear
understand.
me, sir?
Yes, I can hear
Hello.
you. Hello.
All right. Hi.
Hi.
So I don't really know what's going on right now. Can you walk me through?
Okay. So I think you're not comfortable talking right now. Maybe it is really late where you are living
Yeah, it's 12 a.m. right now.
and everybody is sleeping right now, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay, so she can listen, I think.
I understand. Uh, yeah, the
Teacher,
question.
you and I can conversate and she can listen, like if she's not comfortable.
I don't know. It is up to her.
And I can talk though. I can talk, but not very loud.
Okay.
Would that be a problem with you guys?
No, it is not.
All right then.
So, where are you from? May I ask?
Philippines.
Philippines. Nice. I think that
Yes, sir.
yeah, there's a huge investment in English learning in your country, as far as I am concerned. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
true.
Because even though we're still in the primary years, we've been taught with the English language already. Like
Hmm.
it's part of the curriculum.
Hmm.
So we grow with the language,
Yeah.
and yeah, somehow we get established with this one.
Hmm.
Basically, it's like our second official language. So
Hmm.
yeah,
That's nice. How long have you been studying, or let's say, communicating in English?
just recently maybe. I mean, I've been studying since I can remember because even in primary years, we already just what I told you, sir.
Hmm.
We already have this curriculum now. It's
Hmm.
part of our
Hmm.
educational system.
I understand.
So I think I got, fascinated with how the English language works.
Hmm.
So maybe, yeah, of how the words really, the beauty of every words.
Hmm.
I mean, in the English
Yeah.
words. So yeah, and the complexity of the syntax,
Hmm.
the complexity of, the morphological and phonological aspect of the language. So
Hmm.
somehow it intrigues me to know it. And how are you able to use it in daily communicative endeavor, or like say
Hmm.
in pragmatically in the discourse? So
Hmm.
that's why I joined Discord. I don't know if you're familiar with the platform. I joined Discord recently, and
Hmm.
I also browse other alternative aside from Discord,
Hmm.
and this pops up on the web, the Beaver Talk. So yeah, I said, why not try it and make an account for this one
Hmm.
and try to improve my speaking skill, because that's like my uh my 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 weak part, I should say.
Hmm.
Because, I mean, without, carrying my own chair, I would say that I have like dexterity in writing,
Hmm.
specifically in the English language. But when it comes to talking, I'm not really good at it.
You're really good,
Most of the
actually.
time, I buffer.
No, no, no. You're
Oh,
you're really
thank
good
you.
at that, and the vocabulary that you're using seems to be that you're an English teacher. Am I right? Because those
Oh, no,
terminologies
no,
that
I'm
you're
not.
using, those terminologies that you used in your sentences, could be a good example of a nice teacher, I think. Have you ever taught
Oh,
English?
thank you for that.
Yeah,
No, no, sir. I'm
really.
not. I'm not an English teacher. Yeah.
That's amazing. Fantastic.
Well, what do you mean the terminologies I use, sir? Could you emphasize that for me?
Of course, I couldn't basically take notes, but the vocabulary that you used were related to, teaching stuff. Like,
Wait, wait. Are you an English teacher, sir?
yeah, we can say that. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, the point here
Oh,
is
wait.
the point here is what is your purpose of improving your, let's say, speaking ability? What do you want to do with English?
I want to connect with other people
Mm-hmm.
because one of the thing in my bucket list actually is
Mm-hmm.
to work abroad and to meet a lot of people from across like all over the world. And
Mm-hmm.
also I see the English language as a medium where opportunity is being entailed with it. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you know English,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of opportunities, or like doors of opportunity that will open up for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like my motivation in learning the English language, specifically the speaking aspect of the language.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah,
Your English is quite good,
thank you.
and the vocabulary range is
Uh,
really, really nice.
I would say it's I would say it's so, sir. It's not really that
No, it is. It is.
great. I
It
still
is.
have
To
problems
be able to
extracting.
you know, everybody knows lots of vocabulary, but uh, the way that a person is using the vocabulary means that the person is able to remember the vocabulary and try to use it specifically at a correct position of the sentence based on the situation which is going on, and you're really good at this, I think. That's why I was really hesitant to say whether you were a kind English teacher or not, but apparently indeed your level is beyond intermediate, beyond that minimum C1 C2 level, uh, but that's okay, you can stay here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's true. And there is another person like GA. Sorry, guys, I cannot see your names. That's why I can only see like GA with capital letters. So, do you have my voice?
Hello, I'm Gonzalo.
Hello. Yes, apparently you have my voice. Uh, where are you connecting from?
I am from Argentina, South America.
Argentina, the land
Mm-hmm.
of Lionel
Hola.
Messi.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Hablas
amazing.
español, pero poquito.
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
How many languages do you know? Your name is shown as Patch. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I know a bit of Korean.
Bit of what?
I
Sorry, I
know
couldn't
that
hear.
is a
Co-
Korean, sir. Korean
Korean.
language. Like
Mm-hmm.
Hangul, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Korean,
That's just
Filipino,
it. Oh, of course, the Filipino, the English.
English.
A little bit of Spanish, of
Mm-hmm.
course, because we've been colonized by the Spaniards for
Yeah.
333 years. So
Mm-hmm.
we kind of like um, acquired the language they have.
Yeah.
So we have very random words that are really from not from Indonesia, from Spain. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's quite normal.
yeah,
Borrowing,
uh-huh.
lending, borrowing, the vocabulary is really quite normal. But yeah, while you were talking in Spanish, I remember the kind of term, the kind of expression in English. Maybe you know it. In that scenario, we could say you have a knack for languages. Do you understand what I said?
No, sir. It's my first time hearing that
Mm-hmm.
phrase, or I don't know if it's an idiomatic expression or what,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Idiomatic.
it's my first
Let,
time.
let, let, let me just type it. You have a knack, Knack. You have a knack for something specifically for languages. They call it like you have a knack for languages. Understand? Let me just type it. I don't know whether you can see it or not.
Oh, wait.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
knack for like doing well. Is that it?
Yeah, exactly. Let's say you have a kind of, how can I say, ability or kind of gift for learning because you're fast learning and you are a nice communicator. In that scenario, we can say that you have a knack for languages. That's why I was asking how many
Oh,
languages can you speak. That's why.
oh, thank you. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not really fluent in other languages except for
No, no.
the Filipino.
Maybe you're a perfectionist
So,
person. I told this before. I said that there are lots of let's say features or traits or let's say things. I cannot find the exact word to explain myself. In speaking, one of the factors. One of the factors is character, in my opinion, the way that we are selecting words to make a sentence, the way that we are trying to see the world and reflect the world via speaking, in my opinion, it is highly, highly related to our character, personality, in my opinion. And generally,
interesting.
perfect, generally perfectionists uh, do not are not satisfied, are not content. They say, "No, I am not fluent." I mean, okay, what is that fluency? Because I have been asking this question from so many people, native speakers, non-native speakers of any kind of language that I can understand and I can speak. And they generally say, "No, I am not good at that." I said, "This is your mother language. How come you are not good at that?" They say, "No, I cannot. I am not." So I think maybe because of lack of confidence, somehow, or being a perfectionist person, or how can I say, self-judgmental, and as well as self-rejection. I think these factors underline the point that we are not seeing our positivity, but we are just seeing and focusing on our negativity, as you mentioned, like weak points. Yeah, of course, it is good to identify, detect our negativity. I don't want to call negativity, let's say negativity, okay? I mean, negative points, weak points, and try to improve that. But we have to just, how can I say, take it for granted that our positivity or our positive points, strong points, uh, are something which we have to just be grateful, which means that we could have done this. Oh my goodness, I can understand because my listening is great. Oh my goodness, I'm a great writer. My writing ability is really nice. Oh my goodness, my accent is bad. There was a kind of a debate about this accent pronunciation. I think every language user is generally uh, dealing with this, but that's another topic. But what I wanted to say is, I mean, personality is really important thing in order to uh, able, in order to be able to communicate or making sentences, as well as reflecting what we are seeing the world or how we are seeing the world, so to speak.
Oh, thank you for that, sir. I feel like you were scolding me, but in a nice and appropriate way. But yeah, I don't wanna, I don't wanna conceal it, and I don't wanna sugarcoat this one. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I I am dissatisfied with myself. You can say that I am perfectionist, but it's not like I have like, I don't know, self-esteem maybe, but
Mm-hmm.
it's more like I don't really settle for less like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I want, if I see that this thing is not really working on what I see as my standard, then I would say that I need to improve this one
I understand.
because yeah,
Yeah, if
yeah, yeah,
if we want to just
yeah.
go up to the mountain, I mean, we definitely need to improve ourselves, no matter what our weak points are. We have to, of course, do our best to in order to improve it. And there's no limit, there's no end. I am here to tell you. Uh, I mean, no one can say that, okay, I finished this language. I mean, the word finished, complete, it is really a kind of dream. It is not possible. If, I mean, I think we have to just reach to the point, to the level that if we want to self criticize ourselves, we would say, yeah, I'm quite happy with myself. That level, uh, that point in language learning journey is reachable, and I think it should be enough if a person reaches that specific level in his or her language learning journey. In my opinion, do you agree or disagree?
Um, I'm sorry, sir, but I beg to differ at some points of that
Mm-hmm.
perspectives you have. But I always have this, and then I always put this in mind that every day is like a learning experience, and learning is a it's a lifelong
Hmm.
process.
Hmm.
It's like it's never ending.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I always am motivated to learn something more, something new, because I have this like character inside me, and I'm so aware of this that if you give me an apple, I want. This is just like a figurative way of saying
Of
this
course.
terms. It's
Yeah.
not literal, but if you give me an apple, I want the whole basket of it. You see what
Mhm.
I'm trying to point now? Like I am
Voraciously.
not contented with what I just have. I want more of it, like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
So,
You're
like,
so
I
greedy
always
in this.
pursue
This is good,
knowledge.
actually, to be. To be. Yeah.
I always have like a keen of pursuing
Hmm.
knowledge, like that. So,
Hmm. Of course, this is what I
I
wanted to
think the
say. I
rest of
said
me
that
is
there's actually, I told that there is no limit in learning, but as a kind of normal language learner whose mother language is not English, I would say it is not a huge, uh, how can I say, goal for that person because everybody doesn't think like you. Understand? Which means that
yeah.
people have different scenarios in their lives, different goals to fulfill, to reach. And English is one of them, of course. But if you only focus on that specific, goal, I would say uh, your life would not be enough. I mean, you would definitely
Uh-huh.
suffer from lack of time. Understand? There are so many hobbies,
Yeah.
so many things to be done, specifically through the social media that people are connected, like a melting pot. Of course, you know it. And people
Oh, I'm sorry.
see,
What was that?
people are
I
connected.
kind of like, sir, you're kind of glitchy to me. So kindly repeat that one.
Which one?
Like that social media part, I
Yeah,
was
I
not
said
hearing
I
that.
wanted to say that, people are connected through social media and people just broaden their vision to the world, which means that right now, generally, people do not need to just travel around the world. Of course, if you can afford it, yes, why not? But not everybody can afford it. But people can see what's going on in different countries through social media. Understand? And what do I want to say about that is in that scenario, your vision is going to be broad. I mean, it's going to be wide. So what happens? New things would come in your life, into your life. New goals would emerge in your life. So you cannot, I don't want to say you, I mean generally, I mean everybody. You cannot just focus on one specific goal in your life. It is up to you. As I said, you have a knack for languages. You are feeling really good by communicating or using it, utilizing it effectively. But not everybody is thinking like you. Understand what I wanted to say?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
get that, sir.
that's why. So many things should be done. If you go out and ask this question from your friends, obviously, or from a random people, what happens? The answers would mesmerize you, definitely mesmerize you. You wouldn't even think about it. Because, as I said, everybody sees the world differently. Life is very short. We forget it, right? People want to just take up a new hobby in their lives. People want to travel around the world, let's say. People want to change their job, find better one, earn money, get married, I don't know, have babies, lots of things, lots of things. So I would say, uh, in my opinion, it is not that much urge to just focus on one specific thing. Unless you really love it, unless it is a huge, how can I say, let's say, hobby of you, in that scenario, yes, why not? You can go forward, which you're going forward, of course. Your English is really good, really nice. Your vocabulary range is really great, big one. And you really want to be better than this, which is a quite a nice goal to reach. And you can definitely reach that if you are consistent. And of course, you're consistent. As you said, this is like 12 a.m., really late in your country, but because you're consistent, because you have a kind of affinity in learning English. I mean, you love to improve your English communication. What happens? You're staying awake. You try to communicate, to connect, to learn, to produce language, to articulate, to communicate. Let's say, and this is what it is. And I really appreciate what you are doing right now. Really,
Thank you so much for that.
my pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah, there are two other people who are here. I think they are just here to just maybe listen or maybe be right back. Okay. And we have a person whose name is like PK. This is what
Yes,
I see
hey,
your name. How I see your name.
yes. So,
What's your name?
hey, Meysam. My name is Pranav Kumar.
Yeah, from
This
India.
name is from India.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I was
Because
listening your conversation, your point of view. Not where patch belongs to, but
yeah.
then yes, kind of like you were motivating and giving a direction that how to think further when you are being persistent in pursuing your goal
Mm-hmm.
of learning English and then speaking out in different areas where, like, say, profession or your college mates or anywhere else.
Yeah.
But then, yes, it is to mark an impression to the other people, influence them, and then they get back to you. So that's the goal after all, I see.
Nice. Great approach. Great approach. Uh, and may I ask, what is your plan of improving your English? Why do you want to improve your English? Why do you want to be better in English?
Okay, so I'm into profession where I give services to outside world, and mainly my work is into financial applications,
Mm-hmm.
and I work in IT. So the major work that comes from my side is to consult them on the system that they are trying to produce.
Okay.
Now, the system which is going to be produced will include the functional matter, the non-functional matter, the matter about regulation and compliances and the user experience and everything. Many things comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to because this piece of item goes very entangled,
Mm-hmm.
and one has to make sense out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for them to start arranging it in a proper order
Mm-hmm.
with proper criteria that they want to have it in. So
Mm-hmm.
I give consultation to them. So this is the one type of service which India is now have gone good at.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, in the software industry or like some other simple functional industry, we give them a direction what to do next. So
Mm-hmm.
for me to talk to them in a more effective and and
Convenient.
influensive way, so
Mm-hmm.
that they follow, they pay heed to my talk, I need to be in the line, be in the talking style of what they normally talk in.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes what happens, they may be patient enough to talk in a very slow manner so that we catch up properly. But then normally in big discussions or a elongated discussion, it doesn't happen that they maintain that sort of slowness. So it always require, or they always holds an interest that if somebody talks in a way in their native tone and taxonomies and this slangs, then they'll be easily able to catch up that what I intend to mean and how we have to see this through.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this convenience that we see if been provided to them, they would be more comfortable in taking decisions. So we see we are trying to take some new skill to in our bucket that will boon our businesses and their businesses as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what the case might
That's
be.
nice.
And yeah, yeah,
Really, yeah. I
and
mean,
many other sectors are also.
you're really
Mhm,
fluent, and your English is really good, based on the vocabulary
thank
that
you.
you are using in your sentences effectively, of course.
Mhm.
But as we talked, I mean, there is no ending point. I mean, in
Yeah, it's
articulation, in
never.
learning, in producing the language, in communication. So I mean, there is no ending point. I mean, everybody just need
I
to go forward.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I
Hmm.
totally agree with you.
Hmm.
There is no ending point. If you tend to, let's say, learn English,
Hmm.
and then slowly, after making sentences, after making your storyline in your own comfortable tone, you think about building an accent. Now,
Yeah.
building an accent is not pretty much straight. No, you
Hmm.
just don't make tones to be felt that yes, you're speaking North American or South American or
Hmm.
UK, right?
You don't
Uh,
have to.
but then yeah, but then their tone has been developed because of the cultural, because of the thought process of the people who live there. Mm.
Hmm.
And you may not be able to understand it more in depth, why they talk about Madonna or what they talk about uh, um, this beaches more often, where maybe your country isn't having a beach.
Hmm.
Then how you will be able to catch up? Um, so, of course, as you mentioned, there's no ending to it. But then the more you go into it, just for the purpose to serve them more better, let's
Hmm.
say in media or software, as I mentioned you, or in the consultants of finances or law, which you normally have now these days spread across the globe,
Hmm.
people tend to practice as much as possible to earn money. Bucks is the matter. Bucks
Definitely.
is the thing which, yeah, that's it.
Definitely.
So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mason, now just a bit of curious, a bit of
Yeah.
small point. So, who do you belong to, and are you an English teacher per se, like teaching people? Just
Yeah.
one thing, want to know
Of
this. Yeah.
course. Yeah. This is teacher Meysam, let's say, and originally I am Iranian. I lived in
Okay.
Turkey, Istanbul, and I taught English
Okay.
uh, for so many years. Yeah, my major in university was English related, of course, English language and
Okay.
literature, and of course, we are
Nice.
improving ourselves as well. Uh, the point of creating this
Okay.
group was to just give people some feedback, some based on experience or based on a little knowledge that we have. Maybe we could be helpful.
Mhm.
And right now, I am just asking you: do you have any challenges, any specific challenge, which maybe slows you down, or maybe makes you uncomfortable, demotivates you or whatnot. Do you want to speak about
So,
this?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, challenge. So, after this English language communication from my very early age,
Mm-hmm.
and during childhood as well, I was focusing or been given a push from my parent that you have to build up your vocabulary, your way of sense of speaking English okay, in front of your classmate or teachers or like. So this there was a push from very early age from my parents and other people as well, that if you learn this, then your way of like earning a good income in your
Mhm.
adulthood would be very much sorted.
Mhm.
So because of that, we tend to pass our days, pass our years, and keep on communicating into that. Just
Mhm.
one second, somebody at the door.
Okay.
Just on that. Pardon
Mhm.
me. Okay.
That's okay.
So yeah.
I'm all
Uh,
ears. Yeah, I'm listening.
right. Right. So as we grew, we still held that thought of being near to English or whatever the opportunity that we seek, because that was a straight point for us, that if we, when you graduate or when you complete your education, then when you and you try to find a job, then the straight thing that the interviewer will be asking,
Mhm.
are you good at English or not? So that was the ask here, and actually this particular thing spread across India, like. A habit, indispensable habit, which everybody needs. Now, that kind of a thought process was there with complete Indian citizens,
Mhm.
and not only just a part of India was pursuing that. It's across. You call it from top Jammu Kashmir to the end Tamil Nadu. Maybe if you look into the Indian map, you will see that. And now when we have advanced studies, when
Mhm.
we go, so I'm an engineer per se. So which means like if we have to showcase or present our thought process on complex matters, and there are people who are to judge and or see the debate on. So they definitely ask that, okay, you have to be proficient in this language, because that shows professionalism. They call them trademark this thing, that this is your professionalism being
Mhm.
measured if you speak in this language. Now we utilize this particular habit more towards on services, because ultimately somewhere it has to work. And as India opened up their portfolio to start working with foreign people, because India was at a position at that time that it can provide
Mhm.
labors. And slowly, slowly we grew our opportunities of working. We become very much a trustworthy people in their eyes, and we worked in many different aspects. You call it infrastructure, you call it on technology, you call it on finances, or many other helping agent on that part. So we grew that. But when now, after becoming very too much coherent in these work practices in English, we grew on some level, and we started to be seen at as a good manager, a good director, a good this leader. And slowly, slowly, we turned into more of like a consultant people. So we now say we are not now from a labor industry or labor era, but now we are more of a consultant era, where if you like to take us in, we are more than happy to take us in.
Mhm. Yeah, I've been disconnected. I'm not hearing you right
We
now.
will help in last
Oh,
you take it
okay.
when and if you don't like, we, yeah, don't worry, we last have, that's how it's able to
Mhm.
follow too. So
Mhm.
this we are at the mindset in very sharply. Okay. Around, I was in marine engineering. As it I told about my background,
Mhm.
in 2013 time, and I was getting posted on Ataturk, Istanbul itself. So yeah,
Mhm.
that was one of the thing, and I definitely, not definitely, I should not be committing it, but yes, there is in my list and dream that, okay, I will go and see anything Turkey. on from their different cultural level or people level, and the new contemporary trends that they have. So catching
Hmm. That's amazing. Really nice,
catching the new things
kind
now.
of.
Even
I
the
mean,
media, the movies and yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
see. I see. Right now, can you hear me
Mm.
right now?
Your voice is breaking, Mason. Mm.
Do you have my voice at the moment?
Yeah, a bit of breaking is happening, but then
Hmm. I don't know why, but yeah,
yeah, voice
your
is
your
all
voice
good
is
now. It's
your
coming.
voice
I can understand now.
is really clear. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can say you're really fluent, and you have your pronunciation is really nice. I could understand everything that you said. No worries with that. Of course, you need.
Fantastic.
I think you want to be much more confident comparing to your current position, and through this
Hmm.
website, through this platform, let's say, of course, you can show yourself, you can show your English level, and
Yes.
you could be much more confident by
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but as
Yeah.
both of us know, there is no end in
Yeah.
improvement of
I
English.
agree. Agree.
So we definitely
Hmm.
need to just work hard, do our best, and just give it up.
Right. So it's all involvement. How much you are into, how much you're serious about it, how much you are trying to take the opportunities wheresoever you seek, and
Yeah.
showcase your your views, your opinion, your presentation, and people to follow you back. So it's all about the thought process that you're building, not just within yourself, but along with your people and cult and your community and whatever you call it,
Hmm.
whosoever your audience is.
Yeah.
So that's the case.
You know,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah.
saying in English, let's say, among Americans, they call it like, they say it like, use it or lose it. Use it or
Uh-huh.
lose it. Of course.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes.
you know, first thing first, we have to use the language in order to not lose the language. This is one thing. Another
Mm.
thing that
Yeah.
you have just mentioned is, yeah, if you're clever enough, if you're,
Mm.
how can I say, appreciating the things
Mm.
that you already have, and if you find a way to use and integrate technology, then you're a winner. And I think you're a winner
Yep.
too, because you are using the opportunities that exist, which exist around you. One of them is this one.
Right.
Yeah, there are lots
Yep.
of things going on at the moment, right now. But because you have a goal to improve your pronunciation, to improve your communication, you are spending your precious time as an individual on this platform to fulfill your needs, your desire.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yep.
A good
That's
choice, a
totally
great
100%
choice, let's say. A great choice, because this time that you're spending at the moment, or other moments with other people, with other teachers, other native speakers, let's say, is a
Mm-hmm.
kind of investment if you
Yeah. That,
see it from that perspective. This is a kind of investment for yourself. You're investing your time on your future, on your personality, on your attitude, on your thoughts, in your career, whatsoever. I don't know. It is up to you. And I really appreciate it. I really appreciate. I wish everybody
thanks.
would
Thanks.
should I mean could be like this, but unfortunately, people are not taking so many opportunities that they have, so many opportunities
Yeah.
which exist in their lives, for granted. This is a negative point, so to speak. Right?
Right. I understand that. I understand that.
Yeah.
And then that's a thing which is there, them to choose and what and them to follow.
Hmm.
So nobody can push them. We can just guide them that this is what is open. you, as you mentioned, use it or lose it.
Yeah.
It's up to you. So
Mm.
that's okay. Now,
Yeah.
one thing which I'm trying to hone at the moment is
Mm-hmm.
about uh, pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, to use intonation at a right moment, at a
Okay.
right emphasis, which I'm trying to give it,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a sympathetic note I had to give. So how do I say? And if something more affirmative I have to speak, so that the person should understand that I am giving orders, but in a right way. So
Mm-hmm.
how do I say? And if something more
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your voice is cut off, but I could understand what you said. You know, that is a huge topic to discuss. Do you have my voice right now? Can you hear me? Oh my goodness, disconnected. Do you have my voice at the moment? Yeah.
is coming through clearly.
Okay. You know, the point here is uh, because English is not your mother tongue or mother language, this is a huge challenge
Yeah,
for you, for so many
yeah.
people, as a kind of non-native speaker of that specific language, which is, English, obviously. This is a huge point. Second one is, uh, I mean, every single person who wants to just speak in a way which looks like native, I think they need to be exposed in English as native speakers or like native speakers. I mean, naturally.
Mhm.
What should you
Right.
do as a kind of individual, as a kind of language user, let's say? You have a couple of choices. Number one, if you can afford, you need to just go abroad and live in a kind of English speaking country for a
Country.
while,
Yeah, yeah.
minimum a year, minimum a 6 month, or a year or whatnot, and only
Mhm.
and only use English, only and
Yeah.
only use English in that specific during that specific period. This is one point.
Mm.
Another point is be exposed to English material through internet.
Yeah.
I would
Every,
say, I would
yeah.
say right now we are so lucky. Everybody is lucky because technology has brought us so many opportunities. Number one is, I would say, definitely, I would undoubtedly say YouTube. YouTube is
Yeah.
is a kind of bridge, is a kind of, let's say, virtual bridge from our location, which connects our location to that those English speaking countries. I mean, those
Yeah.
native YouTubers,
Real time. Yeah.
yeah, are using English very fluently and greatly because they are native speaker of that language. So by improving your listening ability, your listening would definitely help you to build a nice pronunciation, maybe a good accent. That's another topic.
Yes.
And obviously
Hmm.
a good intonation. By repetition,
Yes.
repetition, 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 your ears could identify, could detect the correct
Right.
the correct rhythm and intonation of English. Understand what I
But
said?
yes, I,
So,
I like to add in one point. I just a small point. Maybe I am interfering, and I'm very apologies that I'm doing so. You asked me one question. That
mhm.
what is the problem or hurdle that I see that is troubling you to hone a good English communication or language? One of the thing is because you are living in a country where English is not a native language. What does it make? It makes you that okay, you have to get back to your village.
Was it a question, I think, right?
Your friends. Yeah, and when you go in that time period, let's say for 5 months, 6 months, 4 months, whatever
Mm.
time, the effect that native language holds on you can literally make you forget the practices that you have done.
No, no,
And
no,
to come back again,
no,
it's
no,
just
no,
like starting from scratch.
no,
No?
no, 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 no. This is incorrect. Why?
Okay.
Because because you are residing there. I mean, you're living in that specific country. Let's say America, okay, and you are how can I say you're urged to communicate with native speakers. You cannot.
Mhm,
You. I mean, you have to. There's a kind of obligation. You definitely
mhm.
you must use English because other languages will not work. And first, you have to just communicate in order to fulfill your primitive needs. Everybody should do that. Like,
Yeah,
because we are thirsty, we have
yeah,
to sleep, we have to, buy
yeah.
something, blah, blah, blah. So other
Hmm.
languages will not basically work, right? So we need to use English, and because we are using English, we are practicing it automatically. And listening is part
Yeah.
of language. Speaking is part of, let's say, language. Reading, writing. You go on the street and you read the signs. You read newspaper. You are reading some other news resources online,
Book.
offline. I
Yeah.
don't know. You are
Yeah.
simply right. You sometimes you have to write something. So all of these
Yes.
abilities, whether you like it or not, are naturally and automatically being engaged in learning process in communication. I would say so.
Yeah.
Because there's a kind of obligation in that specific country, that obligation can um, take you to a really desired level, desired point of English speaking, or let's say English usage, I would say.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, hmm, so now working, my clients are basically from, my recent clients are basically from South Africa these
Mm-hmm.
days. Okay. So their tone and talk is like African and European, because South Africa was been taken up by European long back, and they still hold the accent from the colonizer people.
Yeah.
So that's why they speak in that tone. Now, whenever I have to talk with them and try to mimic them, that okay, this is how you've been making your sentences, and I'm trying to do the same so that it goes in line with your conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
then the problem that comes is slang, the something which is related with their culture, their
Mm-hmm.
thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Something it bounces off my thought mind so sharply
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not able to understand what they mean. And then
Mm-hmm.
I just have to nod my head saying, yeah, 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 because I have to get the conversation going ahead. So to learn the slangs as well, does it mean that I should start watching the news of South Africa, though I'm an Indian after all? Uh, and maybe it's not required for me to know more of depth of the South Africa, but
Mm-hmm.
then for the need of slang learning, for being me to be more uh, 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 what shall I say the word, to be more a good host to them to
Mm-hmm.
describe my point.
Mm-hmm.
They I need to practice some other way as well, other than just with intonation or English or
Mm-hmm.
words. They
Mm-hmm.
should be
Mm-hmm.
more thing that always needed here.
Yeah, I mean, good point. Let me tell you something. I mean, learning slangs is not the case here because the thing, as a kind of non-native speaker, non-native speaker's goal is to be able to learn standard English first, official or
Mm,
standard English first, because
yeah.
you're not going to use that specific slang which belongs to, as you said, South Africa, in
Mm.
America or in UK, maybe those
Mm.
slangs would not work in other English speaking countries. Really? Because
Yeah.
slang,
Yeah.
as a kind of definition, means street language, street talk, but which street? The street which belongs to that specific country. Understand? So most probably they wouldn't work in other English
Yeah.
speaking country. This is one thing. Second, that person who is how can I say, all who always uses slang in these rooms or maybe some other platforms, maybe is
Mm-hmm.
seeking some other points in life. I don't know, because
Yeah.
maybe that person doesn't understand the definition or the goal, the mean of uh, language. What is the definition of language? Language is a kind of tool which we are simply using it in order to communicate. So here, if someone, a kind of native speaker, just tries to use a kind of slang or some other terms or terminologies in a way that the other non-native speaker, I don't care, I mean the level of that non-native speaker, what is the
Mm-hmm.
point? Because they cannot communicate,
Yeah.
so we have to find the common ground, the those similarities that both of the parts can easily communicate. Understand what am I talking about? So slang
Yes.
should
Yes.
not frustrate you, really. As far as I know, let's say American slang. When we are talking about American English, okay, which part of America? Understand? United States of America has got 50 states. Every
Yeah.
state is big region, right? Every state
Mm.
has got specific slangs, a specific way of speech. So it is
Yeah.
not possible to just understand every single slang which is being produced by someone in the street, right? So I think you have to just focus on standard English and just keep it up,
Mhm.
really,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'm overkilling by learning more their native way of communicating. Maybe I'm trying to sound more of like them,
no, no,
just
no,
to
no,
feel, just to see that. Yeah.
no, no, no.
Because of
That
that.
is not the case. I'm here to tell you.
Mhm.
Look at, for example, how can I say, official platforms, even on YouTube or some other platforms. Have you ever heard, let's say, a kind of politician
Mm.
or a public speaker who is using slangs, even phrasal verbs,
Mm.
even phrasal verbs which are okay, uh, generally are not being used by those public speakers. Why? Because even phrasal verbs, as I said, even
Mm.
phrasal verbs which are really okay for everyone
Mhm.
to use, are not
Mhm.
allowed in official platforms, in academic
Okay.
platforms. Really, you need to be
Okay.
academic, you need to be official, which means
Mhm.
standard English. So focus on your standard English. If someone is using slang, you say, "Excuse me, what does it mean?" That's totally okay. Even native speakers of, English speakers, even they cannot understand those slangs easily. From street to street,
Yeah.
it may, how can I say, differ. It can have different meaning or maybe meaningless even, because we are here
Yes.
to just improve our standard English, let alone the
Yes.
slang. So, as a kind of tip, I would say if you could go to a specific part of, let's say, America, UK, Australia, or English speaking countries, and you start to reside there, start to live there,
Mhm.
yeah, in that case, if you see that need, if you feel that there's a need to learn to, how can I say, use those slangs, in that case, yes, you might just go after those slangs and try to learn them, really. Otherwise, no. How can I say, how much of
Yeah.
those slangs are you going to use on a daily basis?
Yes,
Imagine,
yes, yes, yes,
imagine
yes.
you're going to talk to a kind of non-native speaker. So, and you have learned so many slangs and you're just using those slangs. So, do you think that this type of communication is a kind of positive one, a successful one? No, it is not. So, there's no point of speaking because none of you, uh, how can I say, could
Hmm.
understand the other one, right? So,
Right.
there's no point of communication, so to
You
speak.
know, why I chose to come to this free for talk is the only thing which pushed me to come here is that I need to build the habit of making sentences and building my plot my stories that other person can be able to understand it from the
Mhm.
level that they understand what's the prop,
Yeah.
what's the character, what's the story more effectively rather than just listening that what I have to present. If
Mhm.
I present it in a bad way, then the whole point of telling them goes null, completely void.
I
Now, there's one important thing that comes in. If now, when I think one sentence, let's say, for example, and then I
Okay,
have to
okay.
come back with another sentence immediately because I have to think on my toe. Dynamically, I have to come on the spot to describe my point. So, if I'm not ready with the next sentence, I've not framed it well.
Mhm.
What we tend to do, we tend to utilize those um this crunch words, which will like so like and maybe we stutter or something, and this create a trouble. To avoid this thing,
Yeah.
now people say use pauses, use pause, but
Yeah.
then
Really good.
but then
A
still,
nice question.
yeah, we need, yeah, but then still we need to make it more quicker that I frame my things faster. Any suggestion what I should do there then?
Really good point. Really a good question and good point to talk
Mm,
about it. You know,
mm,
I always say people, I mean, non-native speakers, first thing first, they need to improve their vocabulary first. Uh,
mm,
as you said, because I have to frame it in my mind, and how can I say, make those sentences beforehand, and then try to use those sentences quickly or much more quicker. And if
mm,
I do so after a while, because because of some other functionalities of brain, because English is not your mother
mm.
language, you are going to stop.
Yeah.
You definitely
Yes.
go, you
Yes.
definitely stop. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend this method. uh, but what can you
Mm,
do? As I said, listen, listen, listen. Listen native speakers, listen public speakers, and see.
yeah.
And I mean, you have to have the ability of critical thinking, and you have to
Yes.
analyze. Have those native speakers, let alone native speakers, but public speakers are connecting two sentences to each other. I would say. Um, there is no perfect speaking without preparation.
Mm,
Even for native
yeah.
speakers, it is impossible to be perfect, even you're a native speaker, without preparation. Why? Because you're speaking spontaneously, there is a huge possibility of making mistakes, or how can I say, making lots of and like gaps in your
Yeah.
in
The
your
crunch words
speaking.
which call.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Because you're talking spontaneously. You uh,
Mm,
because the question just comes to you directly, and you have no idea how much time you have to think of that, or how well you prepare very quickly. So this is a kind of challenge even for native speakers. But if you want
mm.
to
And
overcome this, you need to broaden your vocabulary. Your vocabulary
Yes.
range should just expand. Understand? Should be expanded.
Yeah.
Okay. How?
Right.
By
And
reading article.
increasing.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I was coming up with a small side note that to increasing the vocabulary, it's just not with knowing the words, the meaning, the phrase.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you hadn't practiced with the various usage in your daily
Yeah.
life in sentences, then the effect and feel about that word, could have been utilized in a affirmative note, or could have been utilized in a very sympathetic note, or could
Mm-hmm.
have been utilized as like an observatory note,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. But,
Mm-hmm.
but it has to be utilized in your daily sentences,
Mm-hmm.
even if you have learned the vocabulary. It just
Mm-hmm.
learning the vocabulary doesn't cut in.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go the extra mile.
Yeah.
That I feel that needs to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. A kind of recommendation for that, I would say, do not only
Mhm.
focus on your speaking ability. As I mentioned,
Mhm.
language has got four distinctive, let's say, skills or abilities. Number one is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Generally, non-native
Mhm.
speakers, language users, are just neglecting the other three, but only focusing on speaking. It doesn't work. It won't work. Why
Yeah.
it doesn't work? Because, as you said, sometimes there's a kind of situation that I cannot remember. I know the word, but I mean, the word doesn't come to my mind, doesn't come to my tongue. Let's say this is quite normal because
Mhm.
you haven't used that specific vocabulary, that specific word, a lot or enough. So one of the ways to
Mhm.
use those vocabulary in order to not lose it, okay, is through writing it. I always say, of course, it might sound boring, but I mean, write a sentence about it, write a random sentence, random, okay, random sentence about those new words or vocabulary
Yeah.
that you have just learned daily or weekly. So in that case,
Yeah.
you're using the word,
Yes.
and the word is somewhere in your brain. And when you need it, there's a high
Yeah.
possibility of remembering it because you have just, for example, made a kind of sentence like 2 days ago, let's say, or 2 weeks ago. So the word is somewhere in
Mhm.
your brain, and it is accessible. Understand what am I talking about? This is one of the ways. Another way is
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
reading. You read a lot of articles, news, books, novels, short stories, and automatically there's a kind of repetition.
Mhm.
You see those new words, whether you like it or not, naturally, and that is another repetition. That is another repetition. Then you watch a YouTube video, for example. You watch a movie. Then that specific word that you have learned, let's say 2 months ago, is being repeated again, and you're just repeating
Yeah.
that. So you keep
Yeah.
you I mean, those words stay alive in your brain, and there's a high
Yes.
possibility of using them quickly, and remembering,
Yes.
I mean,
And I call this
remembering them
word.
very quickly.
Yeah. I call this habit or process or phenomenon as like churning the words in your mind.
Hmm.
You know?
Nice.
Uh, and that's what I actually intend to do. When I wake up, when I sleep,
Hmm.
some sort of time being given that yes, I churn certain words to make me feel that I'm still there, connected to it. I belong to this practices,
Hmm.
and I live in this world. So this is the habit that I normally intend to give, and I normally do.
Hmm.
There's a
Hmm.
lot of good pointers discussion I had, and actually I'm very thankful that you discussed
my
me these
my pleasure.
pointers through.
My pleasure. This is
Yes.
my
So,
goal, to be
yeah.
helpful. If I can be helpful, why not? Because through this,
Yes.
I can just polish my knowledge. Yes, we are human beings. We are
Mhm.
not perfect. We make mistakes. It is so obvious. We are not focused enough. We are not concentrated enough all the time. So there's a high possibility of making
Mhm.
mistakes, not remembering the point, or not being able to just convey the message properly or in a way that the person
Mm.
could understand you. So we are polishing our knowledge from time to time, and it is very useful for me as well. And if I
Yeah.
could help you, sorry, I lost my voice. If I could help you,
Yeah.
in that case, I would be really happy and glad that I could help you.
Yes. Right, right. So, Mason, I maybe have to take your leave, but
Yeah.
yes, as I had a good chance to talk to you,
Yeah.
I did had follow you. But one point to highlight, I am also trying to like become a good host so that I could start a podcast for my own practices and my work.
Fantastic.
So that people follow. So on that note as well, I am trying to build my group so that they could come and join and take some benefit out of me or give me
Mm.
benefit in return.
Yes,
So
why
if
not?
you could follow me back as well, yeah,
Okay.
I would come back to you, yeah, for
Hold
more
on a
good
second.
help.
How can I? Yes, I could find it. Yes, I followed you, or you can PM me. I think,
Okay.
yeah. So whenever you want.
Yes. Did
So mhm. Yes, I
yes, yes.
followed you back. Yeah,
Thanks, Mason. I
I
will
appreciate it.
definitely disturb you
No,
other
no, no.
time
Of course
and
not.
get some good tip.
All right, all
Yeah,
right. That's okay. That's okay. It was really nice chat, yeah. And I think we have to just end
yeah,
this for today. Maybe in the future we can
yeah.
just have the time and just talk some other tough topics
Right.
and which are really
Yeah.
challenging. So I really
Agree.
appreciate
Agree.
that. Yeah, why
And not only
challenging?
just this
Because
thing.
because this is a
Mhm.
real time experience that you have. So many students. I
Yeah.
mean, I say, what is the topic of this group? I said I am here to help you with this. Or if you have any challenges in your speaking or in your learning, please come and talk. Nobody is talking about any
Mm.
goddamn challenge that they have.
Yeah.
People do not pay attention to the topic of the group. I said, I'm here to
Yes.
help
Yes.
you. Just challenge me with good, let's say, challenges that you might have. And you were one of them. I myself really
So
appreciate
yeah.
your
What
challenges. Yeah.
right? What I say, even when I come and everybody speak in the group that they have come to the group for practicing their talk. Maybe they have come for some other motive as well. They're
Mm,
talking about physics, talking about general politics, they're talking about their views about religion, whatever. Right?
correct.
But sometime instead of
I cannot hear you right now.
like that,
Yeah, I
you
know.
are you
Yes,
uh,
right now I
okay?
can hear you. You're audible right now.
All right,
Yes.
all right. So yeah, what small point I was trying to indicate is that when we go into a group, their thought process or their
Mhm,
motive they need could be
mhm,
different.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Though they have come for speaking English, but
Yeah.
then not only is it English, they want to know about songs,
Yeah.
culture, maybe religion. There was something else they want to talk about.
Mhm,
So, sitting for some while, listening to them, and then seeing what they needed from their talk, and then pushing our point that okay, this is what where I tend to be supportive, helpful to you. What do you suggest?
mhm,
This is the only way one can go into their shoe or go into their slippers to get them comfortable to talk to us.
mhm.
Happens like that.
Yeah,
So,
I do not
and you know
blame
it
them.
much
I am
better.
not
Yeah.
blaming anyone.
Yeah.
No, no, no. I am not
Mm,
blaming them actually. Everybody has their own will and their own choices. But yeah, I mean, I
right.
said people are careless. They are not reading
Mm.
the topic and I mean the name of the group and what
Agree.
is the I mean possibility. What type of
Agree.
possibility would go on in that group? They are not just realizing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then that bad point
Mm.
thing happening. But yeah. Yeah. Up to the people. It's a free
Yeah.
application, so
Yeah.
anything can happen. So we. Okay,
Absolutely.
Mason, I'll take leave. And it
Yeah.
was a wonderful time having some discussion with you. And I'll
Absolutely.
definitely try to look back to come.
Oh,
And not only just a one-to-one discussion, a group discussion with on different other points.
yeah.
I like to have it. So,
Okay, why not? My
okay,
pleasure. My pleasure. Nice to meet you. Take care of yourself.
nice. To meet you.
Have a good
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.